Ministry of Youth, Ministry of Health, and other mental health organizations that aimed at raising awareness on matters to do with mental health, especially among the youth. The CS for youth will not be the only CS appearing before the Senate this morning. The senators will also be hearing from the CS for environment, climate change, and forestry. The CS will be answering questions from the senator for Muranga and the senator for Marsabit County. Senator John Yotu, the senator for Muranga County, wants the Cabinet Secretary for Environment, Climate Change and Forestry to explain why dumping of waste has been allowed to continue at an illegal site located at Mukara Junction in Mugaru Ward in Kangema, Muranga County, a site originally excavated by the Lee Construction Limited during the construction of Kiangunyi Kibango Mukarara Road in 2018. The senator also wants to understand what are the immediate measures that the ministry has put in place to address the illegal dumping, particularly at sites obstructing public infrastructure, such as the one near the county slaughterhouse and Tambaya village in Kangema County. And his last question will be about the long-term management and monitoring strategies that the ministry is putting in place to prevent environmental degradation and public health facilities and public health risks in residential areas across the country. The Speaker is about to enter the chamber as the Sergeant Town has announced the arrival to the members who are now upstanding as per the House rules when the Speaker is walking into the chamber at the commencement of business. Allow me to hand over for this live broadcast of the Senate, presided over by the Speaker of the Senate.
Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu, twakusihi tutazame kwa neema nyingi na baraka sisi watumishi wako ambao umeridhika kutuita kwa nyadhifa za uongozi katika jamhuri hii yetu. Tukuomba utuajalie tuyatende na kufikia mambo yote atakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi yetu na wale ambao haja zao umezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen. Clerk, we have quorum. Sergeant at Arms, kindly ring the quorum bell for 10 minutes.
The business of the Senate has kicked off this morning with a 10 minutes leeway given to the House and generally to the senators yet to make their way into the chamber this morning. And the quorum bell that is on ring mode is to allow the House some more time to raise the numbers to attain the requisite quorum to commence business this morning, at a day when 2 cabinet secretaries will be appearing before the Senate plenary to answer questions raised by senators. Remember, upon the asking of the question and the answer being provided by the Cabinet Secretary appearing before the House, the originator of the question, or the primary source of the question, who is the senator listed in the order paper as having had asked the first question, is given an opportunity to ask supplementary questions after the answers have been provided by the Cabinet Secretary. In the order paper this morning, the Senator for Marsabit County, Senator Mohammed Shute, is the second senator who will be asking the CS for Environment, Climate Change and Forestry a number of questions. Among them is the provision is that the CS for Environment is required to provide the historical background on the introduction of Prosopis juliflora, commonly known as Mathenge in Kenya, including the actors and institutions involved, and explain the ecological or the policy rationale that justified the introduction of the plant. The Senator for Marsabit also wants to understand what is the current extent of Prosopis juliflora spread across the country, and could the Cabinet Secretary identify the most affected areas, particularly in Marsabit County, where the species reportedly covers approximately 40% of the range lands. What are the short-term and the long-term interventions that the ministry has developed to contain or eradicate Prosopis juliflora, including the projected timelines, budgetary allocations, and multi-agency and county-level plans that are aimed at restoring the affected range lands, especially in the light of its 2022 classification as a national security threat. The whip of the House has just stepped out of the chamber to marshal senators to step in the chamber this morning for the House to have the quorum to commence business. Remember, the Senate needs at least 15 senators for it to be considered to be properly quorated to commence business this morning. The last question by the Senator for Marsabit County, directed to the Ministry of Forestry and Matters Climate Change. The Senator wants to understand whether the ministry has undertaken or reviewed any specific assignments on the visibility of Prosopis juliflora for the alternative uses, and if so, what are the findings or the outcomes for such initiatives, including any ongoing or planned community-based projects that align with ecological restoration. This is the involvement of the communities in Marsabit County to propagate the agenda of ecological restoration. The Senator wants to understand whether the ministry has engaged the local communities to ensure that the ecology of the area has been restored. To the required standards or the proposed standards. As we await for the quorum to be attained at the Senate, after which the production unit will be handing you over for this live broadcast of the Senate. The Senate this morning has also lined up a number of motions for consideration. Among them is a report of the Liaison Committee on the activities and the operations of the select committees during the third session of the House. The Chairperson Liaison Committee will be seeking to have the Senate note the report of the Liaison Committee on the activities and operations of the select committees during the third session of the Senate, and this is in line with the House Standing Orders Standing Orders number 224, subsection 2 of the Senate. The report of the parliamentary delegation to the 2024 Joint United Nations Interparliamentary Union, this being parliamentary hearings that were held at the United Nations headquarters in New York, in the United States of America from the 8th to the 9th of February 2024, is equally a motion lined up for consideration this morning. This is a motion by Senator Veronica Maina. Allow me to hand over back to the chamber.
Kindly call the first order.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers. Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements.
Now, Honorable Senators, we have 4 questions that are scheduled for response this morning, and we expect to have 2 cabinet secretaries this morning. The CS in charge of youth affairs and the CS in charge of environment and climate change and forestry. We are going to begin with the CS in charge of youth affairs, the CS Honorable Salim Muvuria, who is going to respond to question number 039 by the Senator from Makueni, and also question number 067 by the Senator, nominated Senator, Senator Joyce Koriri. Clerk, kindly confirm that CS Muvuria is within the premises of Parliament, and more particularly in the chamber. Now, Honorable Senators, we're going to take at most 25 minutes per question so that we save on time. Welcome, CS, to the Senate. You have 2 questions this morning. Question number 1, order, Honorable Metho. First question is question number 039 by the Senator for Makueni County, the Honorable Daniel Manzo. I will therefore call upon Senator Manzo to ask the question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Question 039. What has caused the delay in the completion of the construction of water stadium in Makueni County, and could the Cabinet Secretary specify the measures in place to address the matter? B, is there any budgetary allocation in the financial year 2025-2026 towards the completion and operationalization of the stadium, and could the Cabinet Secretary provide a timeline? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable CS, you may now proceed to respond.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and members of the Senate for the opportunity to come back here and give a statement on the state of Makueni Water Stadium. And allow me, Your Honor, to read my statement. I'm honored to provide to the Senate Business Committee a statement detailing the causes for delay in the completion of water stadium in Makueni County. Further, I will elaborate on the specific measures implemented to address this matter in accordance with the letter referenced dated June 2025. The mandate of the State Department of Sports is guided by the Executive Order number 1 of 2025,